Hey guys, so today I want to talk about getting confidence to go to the gym because that's one of the topics that I'm getting asked about. I mean, not very directly, but people are very hesitant to go to the gym, and it leads me to believe it's a confidence thing because I've been there myself, and so I want to cover that. So confidence in the gym, there's a few ways, like a few practical tips I'm going to give, and then kind of the theory behind confidence when it comes to something like going to the gym. So the first thing you can do is look at what you're intimidated by. And normally that's other people who are judging, or people who you think are judging, because usually they're not actually judging. You just think they are. The people who are judging are generally insecure. Like the biggest guy in the gym is not judging you. If anything, he has respect for you. It's the smaller guys who are insecure who are the ones judging you. And people are so narcissistic in the gym, they're focused on themselves in the mirror. They really don't notice much around them at all. So if you think people are judging you, go during a time when there's less people. So for example, most people are intimidated by like young guys who are loud, obnoxious, immature, the stereotypical fraternity guys who are at the gym. And to avoid this, you basically just go at a time when they're not there. So that's like early in the morning. Like if you go at 7 in the morning, that's when most people who are in their 30s, who have a job, probably maybe a kid or two, wife, pretty mature group, that's when they're at the gym, like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Most people aren't awake by then. You could also go later, like 9, 10, 11 a.m. That's when most like stay-at-home moms go. So that's also a safe time to go. And it's probably quietest around then, even lunchtime. When you go at 7, it'll be a little bit busy, but not that bad. The busy time when everybody goes is going to be like 5, 6 p.m. So the first thing I recommend is just avoid going during that time. Now, confidence comes from familiarity, right? If you're familiar with a subject, you're generally confident about it. And you get familiar with a subject by getting information about it, understanding it. So when you go to a gym, you know what you're doing. And this is the same for any topic that you might not have confidence in. Like approaching women. You approach a girl at the bar. If you've never done it before, if you've never picked up a girl at the bar before, you're not really going to have the confidence to do such a thing. You're probably going to stumble, embarrass yourself, and you're probably just going to walk away. You'll probably end up just embarrassing yourself or think you embarrass yourself. Get red in the face. I mean, the typical just bad approach. It could be anything. You going into a store. Think about going into a grocery store. If you've never went to a grocery store by yourself before to shop. Let's say you just moved out of your parents' place and you're living alone now, and you go grocery shopping for the first time alone. And you have like a full list, you got to buy like 20, 30 things. You don't know where anything is, you're not confident, you're like all over the map, you're backtracking to the grocery store, like you see people 3 times, and you think people are looking at you like, why did I just see you like 3, go this way, then this way, and then this way, and it's kind of a mess. But once you've been living alone for 2 or 3 years, or even a year, you start to know exactly how to grocery shop and do your weekly grocery shopping efficiently, and you have confidence doing it. It could be the same thing, your girlfriend sends you to the store to buy tampons or something. Like the first time you do it, you're embarrassed because you don't really know what you're looking at, what you're looking for. You don't understand it at all, but once you do it a few times, you kind of understand exactly what you're doing. You've kind of learned the information to do so. And so when you pick it up and go to the cash register, like you're confident. It's not even a big deal. It's just like another day shopping. And so getting familiar with the gym, there's a few methods. First one is pretty basic. You can watch YouTube videos. This isn't the most efficient method, but it's easiest because you're already on YouTube right now watching videos. And so it's just as easy to search up like a proper routine. You can look up how to bench press, how to deadlift, how to squat. You can watch all that stuff and learn your form and whatnot. But my suggestion is you get a trainer. And when I advise people to get trainers, they always think, oh Josh, they're so expensive, I can't afford that. Trainers are actually not expensive, and it doesn't have to be a routine thing. It could just be something to get you started. I use trainers. Most people use trainers. Even the best bodybuilders in the world still have trainers. Everybody has trainers. You always need like a second opinion, kind of watching you and looking at you from a different angle, giving feedback. Because you could watch a video on YouTube and be like, oh, I know how to do that, I can do that, and you go into the gym and do it. But if you're bench pressing, you're laying down, you can't really see your form. There's no mirror on the roof. There's no mirror beside you generally, and you shouldn't be turning your head to look at a mirror when you're bench pressing. So I generally recommend people to get a trainer, and they're super affordable. And there's so many trainers out there because bodybuilders are broke. There's so many bodybuilders, and they need ways to make money, and so they all become trainers. I've paid anywhere, generally around $50 US an hour for 1 hour. So if you need like 5 sessions to get started, then you're $250 to get started, which really $250 isn't really a lot if you look at the long-term benefit of the kind of investment you're making. If you're going to be going to the gym for years and years and years, and you got someone coming in for 5 sessions to show you exactly how to get started, and your form is correct from the start, I mean, $250 it's worth a lot more than $250. You can get trainers for cheaper. I have a friend in Las Vegas who has a trainer. I think she charges like $25 an hour, which is like really cheap. So you can get all sorts of rates, but generally like under $50 an hour, unless you're going to a private studio, which I don't recommend because it's just ridiculous, because it's ridiculously expensive. And also like you can't use the gym without the instructor. So basically you have to use the instructor every single time. And that's expensive. That is really expensive. Unless you just have money to burn like a movie star or something, like don't do that. And there's no reason to do that. Another thing is that people worry about, people think that you need to lift heavy weights. Like they think everybody's judging you based on how much weight you're lifting. You're not gonna get attention from lifting a small weight. You're gonna get attention from lifting a big weight, or more importantly, a big weight that you can't handle. Like the big guy in the gym is gonna get attention because he's lifting a huge weight that everybody aspires to lift, right? But then like a little guy who's lifting a lot more than he should be lifting with awful form and grunting and attracting a lot of attention, basically what they call that is ego lifting, is also going to get attention. So while you need to push yourself to lift a weight that's actually struggle, like you need to find the balance right before like ego lifting, and then there's like lifting not very hard, lifting properly hard and heavy, and then like just beyond that is like ego lifting, where your form just kind of goes out the window and you really aren't getting the most out of your workout. So once you get a trainer for 5 sessions or so, you watch some YouTube videos and you go to the gym, you start to know what you're doing. Let's say you don't have the $250. Let's just say you're like a young kid, 16 years old. You just don't have $250 to spend. Well, likely you have a friend that goes to the gym who probably knows what they're doing, hopefully knows what they're doing, and can take you along and show you the gym and critique your form and show you kind of a routine that you can do with all the equipment that's available at the gym. And if certain things are not available, they can show you other things you can do to work the same muscle groups. That's another thing. Like when you go to a piece of equipment that you want to use and it's being used, you need to know like what other options you have in the gym that do similar things with a similar movement that's available, because you don't want to be sitting around like waiting for that piece of equipment because you just aren't familiar with the gym. So like I said, once you have a trainer or watch YouTube videos, a combination of both, or a friend to help you out, you do that enough, you get familiar with the gym, you know what you're doing. And even if you're a small little weak guy like I was and kind of still am, you know, not lifting a crazy impressive amount of weight, you still are extremely confident when you walk in the gym because you know exactly what you're going to do. You're doing the same thing you did yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. And it's just such a routine, and you realize no one's looking at you. You're not looking at anyone. You're focused on changing the song on your phone or whatever, looking at what's available, you know, what body part you're going to hit, what order you're going to do. You're just planning everything out in your head, and you really just aren't looking at what everyone else is doing, and no one else is looking at you. So don't be so afraid, but I hope these tips help. The last option you can do is working out at home, but I really don't recommend at-home workouts. You're not really addressing the problem of everything we just went over. You're just kind of avoiding the problem. Sure, working out at home is fine, but as like as a person trying to gain confidence who has Crohn's disease or some form of IBD, I don't really recommend just avoiding the problem. I recommend like facing the problem and overcoming it. So any questions about going to the gym or anything in general about Crohn's, drop in the comments. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on going to the gym, because, and it's not just people on here and on my social networks that are scared of going to the gym with Crohn's disease or some form of IBD, but just people in general and friends and stuff that I try to get some friends to go to the gym. I try to encourage them. Like a bunch of my friends do go to the gym and they're bigger than me, but there's some friends that don't, and I'm like, man, you should come with us. It's fun. It's so rewarding. I mean, it's just, everything is great about it. You got to come and join us. And so I try to encourage them and try to help them out. But if that fails, I'll probably do a video of like some basic at-home workouts you can do with a barbell and weights. Basically with a barbell instead of plates, you can do a lot of stuff at home. But again, I don't really recommend it, so I'm kind of hesitant making that video. But anyways, I'll see you guys in another video.